free home delivery, or phone in your order to be made up and delivered. McDowell & Jackson's, as efficient as the chain stores, but still your friendly local store.
Right, let's have a look at the stats. I think we can bring them up on the board too, can't we now? Yes, there they are. We find that so far, this is half-time, of course. Sale have had 104 kicks to Morwell's 94, so there's not much difference there. The marks, 28 to 23, certainly not much difference there. Handballs, 43 to 41, and on both sides, some of them are fairly scrappy. Free kicks, Morwell 16 to 13, so that's evened up a bit because I think Morwell, because they were going in harder in the first quarter, had the edge. Shots at goal, 15 apiece, and 2-5 to 1. Sorry, not 2-5. 3-10 to 4-9 is the score, and the 15-metre penalties, 4 to Morwell and 1 to Sale. So the stats really don't tell you much, and 5 points the difference. Let's have a look at a few of the Morwell stats from Peter, and then Buck will have a look at the other ones.
Kevin Smith, being a good reliable defender, had 5 kicks that quarter for a total of 7 at this stage. Rod Kerrs had 6 kicks, but he's also had 10 handballs, which is, you know, Rod's forte, his quickness with his hands. Jamie Jacobson just came on in the end of that last quarter, and I think he replaced Mark Dwyer in the forward pocket. Peter Henderson picked up 6 kicks in that quarter. Perhaps should have kicked a goal or two, but hasn't at this stage. Kevin Fleming had a quiet quarter. He didn't get a kick in that quarter. David Ellison picked up a lot of kicks. He's had 12 kicks and 3 handballs at this stage. Steve Ellison, another busy player, had 6 kicks and 6 handballs. Cole Metcalf didn't get a kick in that quarter. Was well beaten, I thought, by Ronnie Hughes. Brett Stanistreet, good solid defender with 9 kicks. Mark Pearce picked up 3 kicks in that quarter. Peter Allen in the centres had 7 to this stage. Cole McCall, a busy player, had 10 kicks and 2 handballs. Steve Sanders didn't get a kick in that quarter, well held, I thought, at full-back by Richard Coulthard. Brett Hayes had 4 kicks at this stage. Ashley Bond, a quieter second quarters, had 5 kicks. Marty Kriegsman, just 3 kicks, but he's done an effective job on Lovelace. Tony Smith, still been a grand player in the back pocket, although he's only had 3 kicks and 4 handballs. Vinny Waite, we haven't seen him on the ground yet, but I don't think it'll be too much longer before we see him.
Just going to ask you that question. If you were coaching Morwell, when would you bring him on? I mean, he's obviously named to do a job somewhere.
Oh, I think he might come on since the half-time breaks finished, Graham, and perhaps been thrown up at full forward or a position like that.
Or perhaps give young Bondi a break on the ball for a moment or two.
Oh, that'd only be around the forward line. I think Vin's days of running around the ground might be finished, Pete, wouldn't they?
Yeah, his effort last week on the forward line was tremendous. He gave Morwell a real lift when he went to centre-half forward, and I think he'll be thrown to either centre-half forward or full forward.
Sale out on the ground first up, and the 2 umpires, Hood and Box, also out.
Kenny Greenwood, Sale captain and coach, has had 10 possessions, 6 kicks and 4 hand passes. Ron Hughes has had 10 possessions, 8 kicks and 2 hand passes. David Mason, a better quarter, 6 kicks, and he's had 7 possessions. He's 5 kicks in that quarter, which was interesting. Hogan has had, well, he's probably the top kick getter here by the look of that. He's had 12 kicks and a total of 17 possessions.
Which Hogan are we talking?
That's Damien Hogan.
Right.
And we have Jamie Freeman with 2 kicks, and well, I suppose he's had 4 hand passes, so that's 6 possessions. I suppose we were surprised to see Freeman go off the ball, or off the ground, I beg your pardon, and well, the stats seem to bear out that the fact that that's why they took him off. Grumley's had 12 possessions, 13 possessions, 5 hand passes and 8 kicks. Coulthard 5 kicks, only 1 kick in that quarter. He had 4 in the first, and perhaps that's an indication of just how he's going at full forward. At full back, I beg your pardon, for Sale. Maxfield has had 3 possessions. Whitford's had 4 kicks and 8 possessions. Dove, 12 kicks and 15 possessions. Bristow, 3 kicks, and Millsy hasn't put the knockouts down here. He's got enough to do, I guess. But he's had 5 possessions. Lovelace has had...
Done a lot of heavy work, Neil
Lovelace
Bristow.
has had 3 kicks, and that shows you what Craigsman's been doing on him. John Henderson, of course, he just came on the ground late in the day, and he has failed to pick up a kick.
Well, he replaced Todd, who didn't look in all that good a shape, did he, when he came off?
No, it's going to be interesting, Graham, because Todd had the job of tagging Peter Henderson, and he's obviously been replaced through injury, and Johnny Henderson has been thrown onto Peter Henderson, so it'll be interesting to see if Peter can cut loose now in the second half.
That'll be terrific. That'll be absolutely wonderful. We can call Henderson be right both times.
That's right, running together.
Lenko has had 8 kicks, and he's had 13 possessions. A good game so far. Brendan Hogan, 10 kicks, 2 hand passes, 12 possessions, and just a comment I made about Brendan Hogan. I think he drops his head. Graham's inclined to think that that's not the case. Pollard has had 7 kicks and 8 possessions. Todd has had 2 kicks and 1 hand pass. Not a
Todd
super
is
game.
coming off again, and so too is Freeman coming off with him. So there's the two of them. Yeah, well, Freeman's certainly not proppy. I don't know why the heck he's not on the ground, but Todd certainly, I can see why he's not on the ground.
Silby, 2 kicks, 1 hand pass, 3 possessions. And Carolyn, who we thought was playing reasonably well, I think we called him incorrectly on a couple of occasions, at least I did. He's had 4 kicks and 2 marks. So 4 possessions for Carolyn and 3 of them in that quarter.
Goal kickers so far have been Johnny Whitford, Shane Lovelace, Andrew Pollitt and Kevin Carroll, and each one apiece for Sale. They're 4-9-33. And Rodney Kerr has kicked 1 and Steve Sanders has kicked the other 2 for Morwell. They're 3-10-28. So 5 points the difference as the umpire Hood out in the centre gets ready under rather raining conditions now. We thought that it was going to go away, but it hasn't, and it's probably mucking up a good game. There's the kick taken beautifully there by Jamie Jacobson just on the ground. Bristow comes in, courageous attempt there because he was being tackled. Rebounded up towards Pollard, can't grab it. Pierce is with him, but he butts the ball up pretty well. Can he pick it up? No, he can't. Gets it across there looking for Hogan. Hogan sort of kicks it out. It's going to be a bit scrambly now, so any side that can get a bit of a break is going to be in with a big chance here, and it's going to be Hogan over there on that half-forward line that's going to take the kick. It's a free kick awarded over there, down in the dub direction. Oh, gee, uncontested, but... oh, gee, he must have dropped it. I thought he had it in his arms, but he comes back and butters up pretty well. Still can't break away with it. Now Moore will defend, but oh, shocking kick, and Hogan is there again. He will kick it wide. Who's he going to be looking for? And he's going to find him too, I can tell you. And coming right out from that full forward division, we find is Eddie Nedelko, and he has marked the ball quite easily 45 metres out from goal.
Beautiful placement from young Hogan there.
Yes, I always remember, Buck, you never taught me much, but you always taught me you kick the spaces, not the faces.
Absolutely.
Always remember. Waiting now for the ball with Nedelko on its way. Let's say you're not going to miss this one, son. I think you have. No, he hasn't. He's put it right through the centre, and by gee, that would have been a big wasted opportunity, and that's let me see. I think that's his first goal for the afternoon from memory. It certainly is, because Lovelace, Whitford, and Pollard and Carolyn were the other contributors.
Who's playing on Nedelko, Peter? Have you picked him up?
Kevin Smith, Tony Smith. Interesting. Morwell have got Vinnie Wade at centre half forward. They've got Steve Sanders in the pocket, and they've got Kevin Fleming down there at full forward now.
Well, I don't think that's a bad move, Wade at centre half forward, because it's wet and it's heavy.
There's
Lined
the
up
knock,
high. Mason gets the ball out wide, picked up by Morwell and through the agency of Jacobson. Jacobson to centre half forward, Waite with a chance, couldn't pick it up. Allison with a chance, couldn't pick it up either. The ball's very greasy, kicked off the ground by Mason. Out wide to where Sale push it forward to the half forward flank through the agency of Hogan. Hogan on the half forward line with Nedelko. Nedelko can't get it clear, and it'll be a ball up here.
No, it won't. It'll be holding the ball. Correct decision.
Well, Smith's got the ball. I guess Smith reckons it's a correct decision, Graham, but I thought it was a bit tough. Smith with the ball, a beautiful torpedo punt out wide. Mason with his arms up, and he can't get it. It's over the line now to bounce at the full.
Yes, just watching there, that was Pollard. They look alike over there. Pollard and Mason. There's a lot of lookalikes out there this afternoon. But we find the ball wide on that outer centre wing division, and Sale with the goal early up have now gone away to an 11-point lead with the Morwell 10 pins scoreboard showing Sale 5-9 to Morwell 3-10. Sale again going forward up towards their half-forward line. The umpire says an infringement. It's going to be Morwell's way, and it's going to be taken down there by, who's that? That's Tony Smith. Tony Smith now with a right foot kick wide on the outer centre wing division. Big men needed, nobody there, just about uncontested. A Morwell mark, that's got to be a free. Gee, thought Morwell deserved a free there as Hogan tries to come through. Can't do so. Ronnie Hughes putting it into the centre, looking for his teammate, finding in Grumley. Grumley, without looking where he is kicking, that sends it down, but Pierce gets dispossessed fairly quickly. Bit of handballing gets him out of trouble with McColl now in the van. His right foot kick penetrating the forward line. Going to be a big leap here if he can take the mark. He can't, Vinnie Wait, and punched away from him down there. Interesting to see who they've got on him down there too, Peter Hall, if you can just pick.
Maxfield.
It's Maxfield. Well, he's probably one of the tougher defenders in the Sales side, and it's probably a good match. There's big Vinnie Wait trying to get away with the ball. Can't break away with it. Comes out. Here's a chance for Henderson. Let's see if he can kick this one. He does. On its way. Yeah, good goal, Peter Henderson. Straight through the centre, and now it's 4-10. That'll make them 34, and 5 points the difference again, with 5-9-39 being the Morwell and Sale 10-pin score as we watch the the replay. Peter Henderson slamming it down towards the goal, towards that scoreboard end, and straight through, no mistake.
Well, that puts a lie to what I was saying before, that I thought Henderson was carrying an injury. We saw him have a shot for goal at the Thorpedale end of the ground, and he didn't kick it very well at all. Giving Thorpedale a plug there as Millsy gives a giggle, but my old hometown Thorpedale.
Potato capital of the world.
Yes, the potato capital of the world, and Les Horsfield will be pleased to see it as Mason gets the ball forward. Picked up very nicely by McColl. McColl onto his right foot, kicks it wide. Coming out as Bristow, kicks it off the ground. McColl backs up nicely indeed and takes it on his chest. I'm inclined to think both sides bombing the ball a bit. I'd like to see them use it, although I suppose they're trying to play percentage football. A long kick into the full forward position. Up high from behind was Stanistreet, couldn't get it. Punched on. Oh, why no? Devil did he bother to punch it, but he knew more than I did, because waiting down there was Jacobson, and Jacobson kicked the ball. I would have thought he should have grabbed it, but I couldn't see Jacobson behind.
Steve Ellison there, I think.
Was it Steve Ellison, was it? I couldn't see Ellison waiting down there, and he's knocked it on very nicely, and Morwell have hit the front.
Yes, just looking there, I think it was Steve Ellison, was it, Pete,
yes,
that put it through? Okay, we'll put that down for Stephen Ellison. A nice bit of work there. Just shows you a bit of luck in football. I think Peter Hall mentioned that in the preview. Bristow kicking it off the ground. McColl just being in the right position to mark it. And, of course, they capitalised on that. We find now Morwell hit the front 40 to 39. Coming out of the pack there, or trying to, we find in the centre is, who's that? That's Nedelko. Grab with the ball. Couldn't possibly get rid of that. And the umpire allows, well, Peter Allen says, give me the free kick, ump. But the ump's been around a while. Gives a bit of a wry grin. And the bounce of the ball will take place again in the centre. Only 1 point the difference in this grand final. Up they go. Mason gets the knockdown. Didn't direct it very far, however. They say, oh, gee, yes. The umpire said he had it in his hands and the kick was taken. So if it's kicking, and Kerr falls over. Very slippery out there. Hand pass wide, finding Pearce. Pearce trying to penetrate that forward line. He's kicked it to nowhere in particular. In fact, nowhere at all. And it's gone over the line and out of bounds. And that would be one of the most ill-directed kicks for the afternoon, I would think.
Hogan kicked one out there before. I don't know why. That's a very dead pocket out here at Moe.
Might have a magnet on it, waiting now for the ball to be thrown back in. Vinnie Waite contesting over there with Maxfield. To the ground it drops. Morwell now on their forward line. Can Sale get it out? Oh, gee, there's enough of them. And there's the ball now in the boots of Hogan, getting it high. Pollitt in front of Pearce on this occasion, and uses his body well to take a nice mark, and I think 15 metres against you, Pearce, for just roughing him up a bit, which, oh, geez, he's bringing him a decent 15. He doesn't wait for that. Lovelace falls over, and Craigsman stands his ground and takes the easiest of marks.
Hasn't had a touch, has he, Shane?
No, he's kicked one goal, and that's it, yeah. There's the kick, wide, down towards the centre wing. Pollitt again goes. Nice mark, Andrew Pollitt. Just sort of weaved his way over the top there and finessed the ball in, and Andrew Pollitt now has the chance to put Sale back in attack. Short pass is not good. Yes, it is. Hogan comes in. By G. Well, Brendan Hogan, I thought that it was a bit short, but that was a pretty gutsy sort of a mark, I thought, from Brendan Hogan.
Courage plus from Brendan. Great little player.
I think he was probably about 1 metre out pointed there.
Passes on to Lovelace here, and Lovelace has led, and a beautiful pass from Hogan. Well, that's the twice we've seen Sale with a couple of short kicks, just breaking it up a bit, and it's a suggestion that we've been making here that both sides have inclined to bombing the ball about in the end of the last quarter. Lovelace, 40 metres out. It'll take a good kick with this ball. It's very wet indeed, and let's see what the big fellow can do. It's on the boot, and so good-looking kick. That's right through the middle. By G's a dangerous player if they can get the ball to him, Peter Hall.
Yes, they rely on him heavily, Buck, and perhaps that might just give him that little bit of confidence, because it's just about the first clear kick that he's got for the day.
Well, it was a good lead, Peter, and Hogan picked him out beautifully with a pass there. You couldn't get anything better than that, and if anything is going to give you confidence is kicks up the ground coming to you like that.
I think he was a bit stiff too just before when Craigsman marked it, because he did actually fall over.
He did.
Due to the slippery conditions. That's his second for the afternoon. He's 106th for the year as the bounce of the ball takes place again. Big men fly. Bristow directing proceedings there. To the ground it goes. Sale trying to butter it through with kicking off the ground. Here's a chance for Whitford. Oh, gee, he got one high, but play on as the call. Good bit of work there by Dove using his body, but it'll be a bounce. Peter Box will come in and bounce that ball right at centre half forward, and I think they must have heard you, Buck. They're breaking these packs up pretty quickly, so we don't see repeat of that second quarter melee. There's the knock taken by Morwell. It goes wide. Tony Smith trying to come through. I thought got a push in the back, but the umpire disagreed. Now he's coming in to bounce it again right on the 50-metre line, right at centre half forward at this Vale Street Oval. The Thorpedale end of the ground, we'll call it. Sale scoring zone in this quarter. Big knock by Pollitt. Gets it wide to Hogan. He's going to have to run back on himself. Breaks clear. The big fella running again, but he's outpointed by nearly a mark there, but couldn't quite hold it. A hand pass over the head comes off Jacobson. Now Morwell trying to go. The The umpire says what? Going to be a free kick to somebody, and it's going to be a free kick to Tony Smith, and he will take it in the last line of defence. He's got players everywhere down here, but he's what's he going to do? It's going to be down here to Bond, but beautifully punched away by David Mason, and it's over the line, a throw-in, and a bit of negative work there by Mason, which is all he could do. 5-10-40, that's the Morwell tally on the Morwell and Sale 10-pin scoreboard, to 6-9-45 Sale, that narrowest 5-point lead.
Mason just getting the edge on Bond, and as I say, that Bond gets it over the back, where Allen can't pick it up. McColl in there with a chance. Out comes Sale, push it forward through the agency of Grumley. Grumley out of the half-forward flank, and Graham will have to take it from there because I can't see around the corner.
A shocking kick, but it's gone wide, and it's going to pay off because Carolyn is there. He's going to bring it back into big Shane Lovelace, and Lovelace has marked the ball 40 metres out. He is on the other side of the ground on this occasion from where he just kicked his 106th for the year.
Well, Kenny Greenwood really giving Shane a blast then, because Kenny was well clear, middle of the ground, and Shane stood and watched and went back for his kick.
Well, he is the full forward, and the way he's kicking, Peter, if he puts this through, well, I suppose Greenwood can be quiet. Well, there's percentage football for you. It's a wet day, and if this fellow can kick like that, well, take the chances. I believe in percentage football, Pete. I know you're still playing the game, but this fellow can kick a goal and let him do the job.
Yes, I heard my words there, Buck. That was a good kick.
I think the only result's got to be a goal, and how it comes up really is not a fuss, is it? It's now 7-9. Sale becoming a little bit more accurate because they were 4-9. They've now kicked 3 straight goals. In this quarter, we've seen them kicked by Eddie Nedelko and also by Shane Lovelace. He's kicked 2. And for Morwell, we've seen 2 goals scored, Peter Henderson and Stephen Allison. There's the knock in the centre there. Peter Henderson under, no, it's Stanistreet, I think, underneath that pack. Sale doing pretty well getting it out of those packs at the moment. There's a push in the back to Nedelko. He played for that.
Yes, he did, and did it well.
And it's John Henderson, and it's not Eddie Nedelko. There's the kick by Henderson, high in the air. Geez, put pressure on someone here. Pollard. Oh, great mark, Andrew Pollard.
Well, Smith's playing on Pollard, and I think Pollard's probably the most effective player at centre-half forward at this stage, Graham.
There's the kick high. He's looking for the big fella. He's going to be sandwiched here. Oh, that's a great grab. Oh, gee, Greg Hayes coming up over the back. And the umpire, what's happening here? Lovelace is chasing after him like a raging bull. And I don't know what happened there. The umpire didn't give any indication that play on was the call, but Lovelace just raced after him. Thought he was going to get away. There's the kick by Hayes down towards centre-half forward by G. Maxfield got up high there. The dangerous player was Vin Waite as far as Morwell were concerned. Now it's going to be Waite. By G uses his weight very well, if I can use that word, but he got dispossessed there, and by G, that's good, strong play by Maxfield.
It was indeed. I thought Vinny might have got out of that, but he couldn't get away from it.
I tell you what, grabbing hold of Vin Waite is something that I would not cherish. There's the kick. Oh, gee, nice kick too by Maxfield. Puts it up. Sale players everywhere if they can mark it. They can't, so the ball drops to the ground. Bit of hand passing. We get out of trouble here. Down it goes. By gee, good smothering by Sale. They're starting to tighten their game up a little bit, and their little running players are doing well. They're buffeting it through the packs, and umpire Hood will come in and bounce it. Morwell in this quarter have kicked 2 goals straight. They had 3-10 till half-time, and Sale, they have kicked 3 straight. So the accuracy that, or the inaccuracy that was prevalent before half-time is certainly disappeared, and that's pretty good news for both sides. In the centre of the ground, pretty scrappy football there. Surely got to bounce it up. The umpire's letting it go again, Buck.
Yes, they appear to be doing that. I think that it's probably got the conditions got that way that Sale with their nice knock by Mason, but Sale with their stronger players, if it gets packy, develops into packs, Smith tries to get it out, no one can get it out, but Sale with their extra strength will probably win. It's just the wetness has gone off the ground, and I'm inclined to think that Sale have got a real chance. Nicely smothered by Hogan. Hogan out wide. He found, I don't know who that was because he was running away from me. There's a chance here for a Sale player. Should have got the kick. It's out wide. Allen with the ball. Now it's Allen.
There's the ball in the centre of the ground. Running it nicely is Jamie Jacobson. Can he do much with it? He can't. He's going to get a bit of, he's got to push in the back there, the umpire said. So Jamie Jacobson will take it, and you saw how he slid there. Look at the mud all up the front of his body there, so obviously it is getting fairly slippery and wet out there. That rain just continually upsetting this ground. There's the kick by G. It's going to fall short. No, drop to the ground. Good defensive work by Sale. Oh, gee, it's got to be a free kick there to Sale. He was held, but the umpire said no, play on. He was fairly close too. The umpire is going to do what here? He's going to give a free to Morwell, I think, or is it going to Sale? No, it's going to Sale, and it's going to... Vinnie Waite's got his hands in the air. I thought it was ready to accept the ball, but it's going to Coulthard. Coulthard now puts it wide. Good pass there, looking for Carolyn. Carolyn butters up well, but lost the run of it. But IG Hogan comes through. He can't break away. Bit of physical stuff, and you're not going to see pretty football here for the remainder of the day, because slipping and sliding is all the action out there, and making it pretty tough on both sides.
I just feel that David Mason's got the top on Bond at this stage. But as I speak, Bond gets the ball. He makes a liar of me every time as the ball comes down to the ground. Very scrambly footballers pushed forward by Morwell. Out wide, Waite with a chance. He can't get off. Well done, Coulthard, as he gets the ball wide and it's out of bounds. Further, about 40 metres around from the Morwell goal.
Excellent play by Richard Coulthard in the last line of defence there. Caught one out, but he still managed to get the ball away.
Played well all day, Peter, hasn't he?
He has.
Ball's thrown in. It's a long way away. Punched away by David Mason. Can't be picked up. McColl with a chance. And he's caught without the ball. Or is it Allison? Tell me, Millsy. David Allison. Allison in the centre half forward. Coulthard and Waite. Waite over the back. There's a chance for Kerr if he can get in there. He gets it kicked off. He had his hands on it, kicked away. It's taken by Hugh. Grumley out to the centre wing with Hogan with a chance. Punched away nicely by Morwell. Out wide to where Allison's in the van. He gets a chance. He's a very good player, but there's just too slippery for him to pick up. He's going to get a free kick. Well, I guess that's fair enough. He was in there chasing the ball, and the umpires seemed fit to give him the chance.
David Allison now putting it forward. By gee, there's going to be a push in the back, but the umpire said no. Picked up nicely by Morwell. Sent forward. It'll go towards the boundary, and Richard Coulthard will make sure that that's exactly where it does go, and it's going to be a throw-in right in that last line of defence as far as Sale are concerned. The Morwell and Sale 10-pin bowling centres scoreboard shows 7-9 to 5-10. Sale leading by 11 points at the moment. That's a pretty good break too. As we see, it's still down there. There's a shot for goal, and I'll tell you what, it's going right through.
Lovely snap by
who kicked that? Peter Hall.
It was Paul McColl.
Paul McColl. We'll have a look at a replay of it here, Buck, if you can just take a check as David Drain waves the flags to indicate the goal is through.
Well, we've just missed it, Graham, because we were just a little bit late on the scene, but there was a hand pass from Allen out to McColl, and McColl under tremendous pressure because the ball was too high, and he got his hands down very quickly in a lovely snap, and that's brought Morwell back a little bit because they were struggling at that stage when Sale kicked 3 quick goals at the start of this quarter.
Yes, I see the runner out there talking to Peter Henderson too as the bounce takes place. Bristow goes up on this occasion, gets it nicely to Greenwood. Greenwood sends it forward. Hayes missed what he should have taken. Going through there was Hogan. He couldn't do much with it. Bit of hand passing, which I thought was suicide. Oh, here's a good piece of play there by Lovelace, and the ball has just been sandwiched straight through the goals there. Trying to pick up who it was.
Brendan Hogan.
It was Brendan Hogan putting it through. Thank you, Peter Hall. And that was pretty good play, I would have thought, there by Shane Lovelace as we just see it. And Brendan Hogan on his left boot took no chances, just dribbling it through for the reply in around about 30 seconds. We've played 16 and a half minutes in this quarter.
Stanistreet looking for a hand pass. He hand passed the wrong way, in my opinion. The Craigsman wasn't there, and Brendan Hogan, I beg your pardon, right on the spot.
Waiting now for the ball back with umpire Hood in the centre of the ground. Incidentally, Traralgon won the reserves grand final. Their premiership holders for the 14th time, and Benstow won their first in the thirds. Oh, great play coming off that back line by Maxfield. Sends it forward. Who's he looking for? He won't find him because it's too high. Coming out is Whitford. They're using their body pretty well now. That's Nadelko getting the punch out, but he sent it right to the opposition in Smith. But in the centre of the ground is Trevor Maxfield, who takes a timely mark, and we'll wait for Stephen Allison to settle down on the mark.
You're right about this fellow, Graham. He's a good player, Maxfield.
Very strong as he puts it up forward. There's a chance for a mark to Pollitt. It runs free, so it's going to be up here to the running Craigsman, who gets dispossessed of that ball, I would say.
Yep.
And a very good tackle there, I would have thought. And a bit of mucking around going on with Hayes and Whitford behind play here. Reminiscent of Tommy Alvin. I know Hayes' hair's not quite that long, but I see Whitford had a nice handful of it.
I should think that Morwell probably ought to have a look at changing Pearce on Pollitt, because Pollitt has been a very, very effective player again this quarter, and that tackle on Marty Craigsman was excellent.
Yes,
working hard, marking well.
Let's see if he can kick as well. He goes back. He's 45 out from goal. Oh, gee, it's a nice-looking kick, Andrew Pollitt, and it's straight through the centre. And let me see, Andrew Pollitt now has kicked 2 goals. He kicked 1 in the second quarter. He's kicked 1 in this quarter. And Buck, do you agree with Peter Hall? There's the kick coming up right now. Accuracy prevailing.
Absolutely. Pollitt has made a big difference at centre half forward there. He's taken 3 marks, I think, Millsy, this quarter, has he? In very wet conditions. And, well, there's something will have to be done. I dare say that Morwell Brains Trust will be looking at it now. We have Bristow back on the ball, and the Sale ruck are just getting a little bit on top.
Yes, Bristow and Mason changing effectively out there as we watch umpire Peter Box dropping it again. Big men will fly. Pearce is on the ball now, I think. Comes out wide here. Chasing after it. We find it picked up very nicely. Handball to David Mason. Mason down. Sit needed here for somebody. It's not there. To the ground. Peter Allen, you ducked your head there, son. Play on was the call. Kick down, and Peter Henderson. Oh, gee, you don't usually see him miss those. Coming out of the defence, and a nice mark has been taken here by young Jamie Jacobson.
Tony Smith,
sorry, by Pearce it is. Pearce it is. He gets it down towards the full forward division. He knows how to kick long. There's the ball running free. By gee, there's an opportunity here for young Kerr if he's good enough, but it's over the line and out of bounds. And well defended there by Sale. Under the scoreboard, which shows that Sale have gone to 9-9-63. They've kicked 5 goals straight in this quarter. Morwell, they are on 6-10-46. They've kicked 3. So, in fact, we've had 8 goals scored in this quarter and no behinds.
Well, it's a change, certainly, as Fleming got the ball down from Morwell, and it's over the line out of bounds about 20 metres around from the Morwell goal.
Just looking at Pearce here, coming over to pick Bristow up, who's playing a kick behind the play. There's Bristow in your screen there. And no, it wasn't. It's a little far down the ground. It was Chris Grumley. But Bristow and Mason having quite an effect on this game.
Well, they work very well there in the ruck together, as Allison's got a chance with the ball. He can't get clear with it, however. Out towards where Kerr, hand pass out wide. No one gathered the ball. I think it was McColl dropping it, and the umpire will move in and bounce the ball about 20 metres out from the Morwell goal.
We played 20 minutes in this quarter.
Tough stuff down there, Graham.
Yes, it's made for gutsy players today, because it's really tough as Mason gets up high. Knocked away by Bond, but Mason will get the kick because he's in front. I beg your pardon, it was Fleming over the top of Mason.
There's the kick by Mason, his left foot, that usual one, coming high. By gee, it's a good-looking kick. Bristow and Pearce sitting in front of us. Really a good mark to Bristow. Roved beautifully by Stanistreet. Sends it down where he knows it's going to be effective to centre-half forward. Roving the pack is Henderson. You're going to get caught, son. Nice tackle there. As it goes wide, who's going to take this away? It's going to be Hughes. Now it's going wide again. Beautifully picked up over there on the outside. That's Hughes now. He handles the ball with a lot of surety, doesn't he? Oh, Hayes, nearly a good grab. In fact, a good grab over the top of young Hogan. There's the kick by Hayes. Not quite as a four. Yes, it's going to find its Mark Pearce in the centre. And Mark Pearce will take it from that position. He does well again by kicking it long. By gee, they've got the sit here. Ball punched to the ground, running free. Morwell's Rodney Kerr is leading in the race for the ball. He will hand pass back towards Benny Waite. Benny Waite will drive it long, and I tell you what, this is going close to a goal. It's punched to the ground. Oops, coming out there is Carolyn, but oh, nicely done. That's Richard Coulthard, and hasn't he done it well today?
My word, hasn't he? And look at him run off that half-back line as he kicks the ball wide to the wing. A very nice mark taken by Hughes. Pollitt, I beg your pardon. Pollitt with the ball. Kicks it wide and kicking it long. No one can gather the ball. Knocked in very nicely by Sale. Ball's running on the ground, picked up by Hogan. Hogan out of that half-forward line, on that half-forward flank. Kicks to the centre half-forward. There's a chance there, and chance taken by Dove. And if he runs it on, he's got a chance here looking for Lovelace. Lovelace, can he make it? He's marked it beautifully, Lovelace. And Sale with a chance of opening up a real gap here. And they've just started to move the ball around a little bit more, Sale. And I think that they've almost opened up a match-winning break.
There was a replay of that mark. I just think that Lovelace is, Peter, well, if he kicks the goal, he'll make a liar out of us, but just leading to these pockets a bit much.
Yeah, well, I suppose at least he's running himself into the game, Graham. He wasn't having a touch before, and he has to move around to get himself into the play.
That's a point.
I
think that Morwell perhaps they should try and chip it a bit wide. If they let this game develop in the packs, I know it's a very difficult thing to do on a wet day like this. They're going to certainly be out-bustled by Sale because they're much bigger.
17 points the difference at the moment, 9-10 to 6-10. That won't be right, so we'll have to wait on this. So it must be 18 points the difference.
There's a chance for Allison. He's got the ball in front of him, kicks it nicely off the ground, goes to no one. Hughes. Coming out wide nicely as Hughes indeed. He's got the ball in front of him. Play on's a call. Over the top was Allison, and no free kick paid, and neither there should have been. But there's one now, and I hadn't seen that. Peter, did you see the reason for that?
Over the top of the ball without making an effort of hitting it out, Buck.
Ben Waite with the ball. No doubt Waite will bomb it down on the forward line as long as he can, and that's reasonable. It's 50 metres at least into the forward line, punched away by the Sale defence. A chance here for Allison. Allison with the ball now. He gets back. Oh, he's gone a million, but play on's a call and a correct decision too, and there'll be a ball up on the half-forward flank for Morwell. And, well, no one calling, obviously, to Allison there, Peter, because he was caught dead to rights.
Sale are really desperate in this quarter, Buck. They've chased hard, they've put their body in, and they've really taken it up to Morwell.
They have, and they get it off that half-back flank division, and it'll be a mark out here to Sale, and I think over there again that will be Kevin Greenwood, who has marked the ball. He's played a pretty steady game too without setting the world on fire. Gets it up towards the half-forward line, looking for his teammate there. Punch to the ground. Hogan coming through. The umpire's indicated a free, and it's going to be taken wide out there on that half-forward flank division. I'm just trying
Gavin
to
Sayers, I think.
It's Gavin Sayers who is the recipient. Fairly wide out there. The ball coming down. Whoops, I tell you what, that should have been a free, and the umpire's indicated that, and it's going Morwell's way, and will be taken down there by Ashley Bond.
He's playing at centre-half back at the moment, Graham, on Pollitt, and Pearce is rucking.
Right, there's the ball now. Ashley Bond wide out on the half-back flank. We've played 24 minutes and 11 seconds. There's a good mark by Bristow. The umpire, I think he pushed his opponent out. He didn't, and I thought he did, but he apparently did it quite legally. Now, Bristow, a hand pass, finding his teammate in the centre of the ground as it goes forward again. Big Lovelace goes, and Big Lovelace takes the mark. Ooh, I tell you what. Given Craigsman 1-2 to boot, and I didn't see it. The umpire was 5 feet away, and he didn't. Let's look at the replay. Up it goes. No, we're not going to see what happened, but he's kicked it wide, but it's out of bounds on the full. So Big Lovelace, a fair way out there. He is 50-odd metres out from goal, as we find attention being given to Craigsman. He's obviously got one somewhere where he didn't like it. Tony Smith is going the short pass, which is dangerous. Kevin Smith receiving a hefty bump too. Quite fair from young Whitford. And could have been slightly late on the scene, but he made Kevin Smith earn that particular mark kick from Tony Smith. Last line of defence, and we're now into time on by 7 seconds. Up it goes, taken by Craigsman. He'll be a bit sore and sorry. Bristow will trap the ball in the centre of the ground. Where are you going, Neil? He's going the wrong way, and that could have been fatal. But Maxfield, whoops, something's happened here. Benny Waite's coming using his weight again, and it's going to be a free to Lovelace right on the 50-metre mark, an incident which I did not see.
No, Benny caught him with a round arm just after he kicked the ball.
Okay, short pass. Who's going to mark this? By gee, he has marked it too, and that's Eddie Nedelko coming out. Whoops, he's hurt himself. Is coming back on the ground is Freeman, replacing Chris Grumley. And Eddie Nedelko with the mark, as we see the replay there, half-forward flank around about 35 to 40 metres out from goal. Nedelko has already kicked one goal in this quarter, and it would be a very vital goal because we find at this particular stage that it's 6-10 to 9-10, so a 24-point lead coming up to three-quarter time in these conditions, I'd say would be fairly healthy. It's on its way, and he hasn't mucked around. He's put it right through the centre, and that's his second for the quarter, his second for the game, and Sale now move to... what will that be? That will be 10-10, so that will be 70 as opposed to 6-10-46, and that's registered on the Morwell and Sale 10-pin bowling centres scoreboard here for the 1986 Grand Final.
I'd have Sanders out to centre half forward and Wait into full forward. He's just too slow, too bulky, and he's done a couple of silly things. He let Bristow run away from him at one stage and then gave a kick down the field, and that's another goal they've got to get back. In a day like today, it's a tough job.
Well, Freeman back on the ground, replacing Chris Grumley. Morwell haven't done a lot of interchanging. Sale have done most of it. To the ground it goes, taken away. Oh, nicely sharked out of there too by Sayers, I think it is, going through. Couldn't do much with it, and the umpire will bounce the ball right in the centre of the ground once again.
Fleming getting well beaten by the Sale rucks now. They've taken Bond away, and Fleming just
Vinway going to defence.
Well, there you go. It's opposite to what I would have done with him. I would have put him where the ball isn't. Kerr gets dispossessed, picked up by Bristow out
Dove.
wide. Dove couldn't gather the ball. There's a pack of players around, picked up very nicely by Allen. Allen to centre half forward. We've got it punched away from Allison by the Sale defence. Picked up again by Bristow. He pushes it forward. Dove with a chance now. Dove gathered. He can't get rid of the ball as he's tackled when not in possession, and Dove will pick up the free kick by Allen. Allen was unsighted there, and he picked up, he tackled Dove, and Dove with a chance. There's a lead from Lovelace, and not taken any notice of at all as he's put down the centre half forward. There's no chance here for any constructive players. It comes out wide to Allison. Allison on the centre wing. No one running at all. There's one Sale player, and it's in the back for mine. Picked up by Hogan. Hogan with the ball now. He'll get onto his left boot, looking wide, and it's over the back, and it'll go out of bounds on the Sale half forward line. Well, at least I think it was still in play.
And there's David Allison picking it up nicely. He was grabbed. Gets his kick in, however, doesn't travel very far. Picked up by Hogan. Hogan sends it up towards centre half forward, but the only player there is in Morwell colours, and it happens to be the skipper, Peter Allen. Peter Allen now on the defensive side of things as we find the scores. 70 plays 46. Nice grab taken over there by the big fellow Bristow. And getting a little dark out there. It's not indicated on the screens at home, of course. You can see it a lot better there. But just that drizzly rain making it difficult. Bristow, not the best kick in the world, but it's effective, and it finds Johnny Whitford 55 metres out from goal. He would be well served if in fact he would like to kick it quickly. Out it goes, nearly a good mark to Carolyn, couldn't quite mark it. They come out now, and the umpire says a free kick to Morwell, and Kevin Greenwood with a, not Greenwood, that's Nedelko with a wry grin on his face, a sickly grin as a matter of fact. Sending it out here towards Tony Smith on the 50-metre line on the defensive side. By gee, they're going to break here down towards the centre wing division. It's very nicely done, and it's Jacobson. He's going for a run. He's going to break up this full forward division. Punched off the ground by Waite. By gee, that was a wasted passage of play. There it goes. Whoops. What's happened here?
Jacobson hit him too high, Graham.
Jacobson should learn to keep his elbows down. It retards the side, and here's Lovelace again taking a good mark. Bristow, and right on the siren. Now this is going to be very interesting because we find 24 points the difference, and if we find that Lovelace can kick this, which is a very important kick I would think, you'll find that 5 goals separate the two sides at three-quarter time, which I'm sure Peter Hall would agree in a grand final under these conditions is fairly important. Let's see if Lovelace can make the distance. He's 45 metres out from goal, a picture of concentration. His last kick I think went out of bounds on the full, but he has kicked one from here earlier in the quarter. On its way, he will not make the distance with the kick, so that is a wasted opportunity, and they'll go in with 4 goals to boot. 10-10-70 to 6-10-46 on the Morwell and Sale 10-pin bowling centres scoreboard. We'll take this break and we'll be back at the grand final for the final stanza in just a few moments.